Good morning, student. So today is the first lecture of computer science. Basically, this known as uh, computer application. So previous class was only the introduction of the topics and their marks distribution. So today, basically, the second today is the you can say today is the second class, but for your syllabus, this is the first class. So I'm starting from your very first chapter. That is, the name of this chapter is computer system. So to we begin with, actually this chapter inform you what is the need of the computer, what are the characteristic of the computer, what are the input output devices of computer, what are what are processing unit, that is CPU, and its works. So these basic things will be included in this chapter. So before starting, let me explain what is the need of the computer. So in this time, the computer and mobile phones, internet are the necessary thing for the human, because we can study, our daily lives is becomes dependent on the mobile internet, on the mobile phone, on the computer. So this is the digital time of the world. So we use the computer or computer or mobile phones for the studying, for calculations, for entertainment, for business purpose. But number of eras are here where you can use the computer. So there is no limitation of the computer. Basically, computer came by the Latin word computer. It means to count. That means to count. So if any devices who can count, that you can say that is a computer. Okay, so what is computer? So we already studied in the previous classes. Computer is an electronic device which process user data as per the instruction to produce the desired output. That means computer is an electronic device which take instruction from the user and gives output according to their choice. That means the result, the output will be according to the client. It can perform both arithmetic as well logical operation very quickly, and can also store the result for future use. That means the computer can perform arithmetic operation like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and a logical operation like logical decision means this logical decision means, suppose which things we do in our daily lives, that if this thing will happen, then I will go this type of things will call logical things. So this logical calculation is also done by the CPU, that is central processing unit, or you can say it is done by the computer. So being a machine, computer cannot work independently. That means the computer cannot work by itself. For we need to have one operator who operate the computer. So computer takes the instruction, and after that it gives the result. So there are the picture by this picture, it is very much clear that how the computer works. It takes the input, it processes it, and it gives output. So this process is called IPO cycle: input, processing, output. This is called input, processing, and output. What does it mean? I'm just clearing you in details. Suppose you are giving the input. What are the input? So let me take one real example. Suppose input means raw data. Yeah, data, you can say data. Suppose we have the school information, the complete school students details, name, their father name, their mobile numbers, everything. But I need some information like the student's name of class 10th only, and their details, their mobile number, their father name. So what I am doing here, we are doing some processing with that data. That means we are processing some processing we are doing with completely whole data. That whole data is called raw data. But after processing, what we are getting the result, that are output. So what I can say, the input is the raw data, and after processing, the data is converted to the information. So information is nothing like information is just like a output. So next one is function of the computer system, how a computer system works. So it takes inputs. So input means what type of input? It suppose we are writing the names of the person, and suppose anyone the name is Kavita, so I'm writing Kavita. So K we are giving by the keyword keyboard, I'm sorry, keyboard, V by the keyboard. So these are the instruction for the computer. Then it is processed by the CPU. Then after that it gives the result. So we have also storage devices. By that we can store our data for further use. So I think this picture is just fed up here, here, and here. So this is fed up. So basically this picture, this is this picture like this, and this will be like this. So what happened? So input is given to the CPU, and this CPU is doing some processing. Processing means it can do arithmetic logic unit. Here are some units like CPU is having ALU and CU. CU means control unit, and this is arithmetic logic unit. So what does it mean? Basically arithmetic logic unit, what it do? It do the arithmetic operation, logical operation. And control unit do basically it flow the instructions. Suppose which instruction is coming out by the input device, which output is going to on the screen, or that means key control unit controls the flow of instruction. That instruction can be of input, that instruction can be of output. That instruction can goes to the memory, which type of instruction is going to the memory, which type of instruction is going to take from the memory to the CPU. So these all the things is done by the CU, that are called control unit. And ALU do arithmetic and logical operations, and this complete is the CPU. This is basically memory unit is the primary memory. Primary means if suppose if you are storing the data, suppose you are working when a computer takes the input from the user, then it converts it into binary. So when it is going to process, then that data should be stored to any place. That type of storage is provided by the memory unit. That is called primary memory. And when you want to store for a long time, that means for future use you want to store it, then this is called the external memory. So this is done by the external memory. And after processing you will get the output. So during the first stage it is written over here. During the first stage it reads the data and instruction using the input device, and stores these into the input device, and store these into the main memory of the computer system. Main memory of the computer system, which is processed by the ALU during the second stage, and the result produced by the ALU are stored. Uh, what ALU the result produced by the ALU are stored back into the memory unit. During the third stage, the result are received on the output unit. The data flow in the computer system was controlled by the CU. What things I explained you earlier, this the controlling of data is done by the CU. That's why its name is written as control unit, CU. So these are the complete structure of the computer, what how a computer, how a computer do their functions. So control signals data. So these are data flow. That means in this way the data goes to flow. And the control signals means control this. Basically this there should be one arrow like this, and this indicate you how the CU controls the input. Here is also one signals, like one line should be here. This also shows you how the control unit controls the output instructions. Okay, so these are the signals by which it is controlled. And CU also controls the instruction that it directly goes to the uh, external memory here, from here to here. And also there should be like this, because CU gives the instruction to the this part, this memory unit. Okay, so these are the lines which indicate you, okay, CU can control the instruction to the input to the CPU, output to the CPU, and CPU to the memory unit, CPU to the external memory. So these are the way of controlling the instruction is controlled by the CU, that are called control units. So it is written also, external memory is used to hold the processed result permanently for later use. So next one is input unit. So basically you studied in the previous classes about the input devices, different books write the different definition. But here the common thing is the device which gives instructions to the computer is called input devices. Suppose if I take example, mouse gives the input to the computer device, this keyboard gives the input to the input device, and many devices you can think which gives the input to the computer device, they are also the input unit. So processing, I already explained, CPU data processing unit, that the data in the computer is processed by the central processing unit, and which is also known as the brain of the computer, because it takes the instructions and gives the result according to the user choice. It mainly comprises of two units. I explain you, ALU and CU. It is having all types of data processing are carried out by the ALU, whereas CPU has to control flow of data in the system from one part to another. So output units, the same way, this is the device which gives you output, data output devices. Like speakers give you output, and printer gives you output. Monitor, that means monitor display, that are gives you output. So these are the output devices. Next one is storage unit. So what are storage? Let me clear this point here. Main memory, the computer is also known as main memory. The computer memory, main memory of the computer is also known as primary memory, as it stores everything like data, instructions, and information in the binary form, which is directly understood by the CPU or processing unit. That means, let me clear one more thing here. When you give instruction to the computer, then that instruction is converted to the binary form, because CPU do not work directly with your data, it works with the binary form. So that binary instruction is stored to the main memory. So when that instruction is required once again to the CPU, or after processing, after giving the information, is also stored to the main memory. So when for taking the instruction in the binary form, it stores on the main memory, and after converting in the information, it also stores on the main memory. So on the output device, like is the monitor, we get the result. So for getting the result, it also reconverted from binary to the original result. So this thing is written over here. Main memory of the computer is also known as primary memory, as it stores everything like data, instruction, and information in the binary form, which is directly understood by the CPU or processing unit. The things which is understandable by the CPU are stored over main memory. So main memory you can see here. Let me show you again. So next one is storage unit. It interacts directly with the CPU to provide the required data and instruction, and to get the back the processed information. It also interacts with the external memory for storing the information permanently. That means storage. What are the storage unit? Storage unit stores your data permanently. It is also known as memory unit, which data and information are stored temporary or binary form. This is the main memory of the system. This means main memory is called temporary memory. This is like a storage brain of the computer. It interacts directly with the CPU to provide the required data and instruction, and to get back the processed information. You can see here the things whatever I explained earlier, the things were written here. It interacts directly with the CPU to provide the required data, to provide the required data and instruction and get back the processed. That means it stores the required data in the binary form, and also it stores the result data, that means the information in the binary form also. This thing is written over here. So external memory are for storing the information for memory and to retrieve the stored information in it. Next one is characteristic of computer. Basically characteristic means advantage of the computer. So speed, first comes to the speed. The processing speed of computer is very high, as it processes millions of instructions per second. The speed of the computer is measured in megahertz and gigahertz, means that a job which can take days, if performed manually, can be finished within a few seconds. That means a computer can do your work in a few seconds. And if that means if I compare with a human, then its speed is very high. It can do our work uh, in a milli of second. So it is speed. The computer speed is measured in megahertz and gigahertz. So these are the measuring quantity basically of the speed. So accuracy in addition to this, its high speed, the accuracy of this machine is considered high. If data, that means the output, the result, whatever result we required, it will be error free. So that's meaning of accuracy. Diligence means, next one is diligence. Diligence means ki suppose a man, a human are doing the work continuously for a long time, then the this is the human tendency that he will become tired after some time, or his their consent, their concentration, they lose their concentration after some time. But computer can do their work for from a long time without tired. So this is the meaning of diligence. Next one is high storage capacity. a, in computer you can store a no- uh, a long, that means a big data. So its storage capacity is very high. Versatility means a computer is the versatile nature. That means it can do different types of work. That means we can do work by the computer in different fields, like we can use in aircraft, we can use to make it robot, we can do reservation, we can make the sounds or edit the sound, graphics, videos, etc. We can do. So these are the things by that we can do by the computer. That means computer are versatile nature. So next, your your computer characteristic is explained over here by one cartoon, that are, I'm extremely fast, I can perform many tasks, I can store huge amount of information, I'm always accurate, I never get tired. In spite of having all, basically everything which are having advantage, they have disadvantage also. So first disadvantage is zero IQ. Zero IQ means computer is a dumb machine with no IQ at all. The human beings God gifted by the intelligence to handle various problems very smartly. But computer can basically, you give the instruction to the computer. So according to your instruction, your computer will do the work. It does not have any IQ. So it doesn't have any intelligence power. So lack of decision making power. Lack of decision making means it cannot take the decision. Suppose you made the robot. So according to your instruction, your robot will work. He cannot take any decision. So next one is no learning power. So it cannot learn as we can study. We can learn from our neighbors. So but the computer cannot learn from their surrounds. This is the things new learning. This is the disadvantage. So today this is the end of this session. But before ending, I want to give I have to give some homework to you. So I am telling you, if you have old copies as old copies, but it should be new. So but you no need to go outside for purchasing one. You must stay home and defeat COVID-19. So you will not go to the outside. If you have, then make a new copy for your computer syllabus, and you will write what about the computer and draw this figure, and then you will write this instruction function of a computer. You make this figure also and write down its CU work of CU and memory unit, external memory, input output device you will write here. Then input output device about you will write, and some names you will write here, and storage unit, characteristic of computer. This is very important. Characteristic of computer and advantage, that is advantage, and you can say advantage of computer and disadvantage of computer. You will write both. So right now this is the end of session. I have given to the homework. So I will I will come in the next lecture, application of computer. So this is the end of the session. Thank you. Thank you very much. And defeat COVID-19. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.